Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back in with another cryptocurrency video. Today is a big day as we're pushing new all-time highs for Bitcoin. It's currently at $21,300 and that is a fresh new all-time high, which means that we're going to look at the charts, but the price has never reached this price level before. And one thing that I wanted to mention with that is that actually means that everyone who ever hodled Bitcoin to this point, right, which means that they held on to Bitcoin until now, has ever lost money. So every single person, pretty much holding Bitcoin right now is in profit. And that is something that's pretty interesting, but you have to keep in mind when that's the case, there's going to be a certain amount of people that are going to be tempted to sell, right? So we could see some selling pressure start to come in, but I also will balance that with saying that when we reach new all-time highs like this, we're going to go on the daily chart here, we tend to have a blue sky breakout, which means that since we don't have any resistance levels above, right, we've never reached this price level before, we don't exactly know when we're going to start to see resistance, right? It could be at 22,000, it could be at 25,000, it could be at 27,000. What is for certain is that we will see some type of pullback, but you got to be careful trying to call the exact top because it can tend to run a lot longer than you might expect, right? If we look back here, right, way back in the day, 2013 high, you can see the breakout that we had, right? I mean, we literally went from $1,000 all the way to $20,000 on this breakout. So you got to be very careful with calling that top because it can run for a lot longer than people expect, and you can get burned trying to call that top to short it. I definitely have before myself. So definitely pay that balance of, yes, a lot of people are in profit. There's going to be some selling pressure, but we are in blue sky breakout and there isn't any resistance ahead, which means that we could run for a bit longer than people expect. Once again, it's a balance between those two things right now. Of course, you're going to see a lot of pretty hype articles such as this one, right? Smashes historical high above 20K. Expect a lot of FOMO, as they mentioned here, right? A lot of FOMO, a lot of newbie traders that are going to be rushing into the markets. This is typically why these breakouts can actually run a lot longer than people expect. Also, other interesting bit of news, Ethereum smashes past $600 as CME unveils ETH futures product. So this is actually a big deal because Ethereum now has CME futures, and that is actually some pretty big news as well here that'll help with the Ethereum price move, which is also, of course, breaking out here and currently at $631. So this isn't a new all-time high for Ethereum. Bitcoin is, really pushing the all-time high here, but a lot of other cryptos are doing very well across the board, right? So this isn't just Bitcoin, but I'm gonna cover in this video Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple. We're gonna go over Litecoin, and we're gonna do Chainlink and Cardano. So let's head right into it, right? For Bitcoin, the first thing that I'm gonna point off is the fact that we're in a bigger pattern that's really been playing out, which is, a pretty long-standing cup and handle pattern. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is, we got our breakout, which is absolutely great, but keep in mind, we do tend to see some type of pullback in these types of patterns before actually pushing significantly higher. So, if our breakout level is here, for example, 20,000, could see obviously a pullback back to 20,000. This is extremely likely. At the same time, this is a pretty big cup and handle pattern where we could actually see a stronger pullback to 14,000 or even 12,400. That's absolutely possible, right? And also wanted to point out that we didn't really test the breakout level at 14,000 or the one at 12,400. So could we end up seeing, just absolute bull momentum up to 30,000 and not ever coming back to 12,400? Absolutely, right? But it does seem pretty likely to me that we do see either, in the next few days or weeks, could even be a few months, right? We could push higher for several weeks and then pull back afterwards to around $14,000, $15,000, but it does seem somewhat likely that we do get a reattempt of $14,000, $15,000. So if you did miss this move, that could be an amazing opportunity to get back in at a lower price level, but that isn't guaranteed. Like I said, we are seeing a ridiculous amount of strength right now for Bitcoin, which makes sense, right? I mean, we have all these funds pouring in money, so it's going to be hard to get that bigger pullback. Not impossible, right? The technicals would indicate that that will happen at some point, but like I said, we might only see a small pullback down to 20,000 and just move from there. So I'm going to say as long as we see strength, right, as long as we see this type of strength that we're seeing for Bitcoin, it's going to continue. Really, only once we start to see the weakness start coming in, then we'll see it fall back down. And even then, right, like I said, might not see the pullback that some might want down to $15,000. So we're just going to have to give the lead here and the prioritization towards the idea that we're basically more likely to do well here than to see some type of bigger pullback, even though a pullback is necessary. But there's just too much strength right now for there to really be somewhat of a worry that we're going to come crashing back down, in my opinion. Now, for Ethereum, very strong right now, as you can see, starting to push back higher right now as we speak. Full breakout mode, right? I mean, right now, you can see that previous resistance level. That's what we're going to be heading towards, right? On this move, if we don't see some type of pullback in Bitcoin, Ethereum is likely going to start pushing higher. And even if Bitcoin pulls back, actually, Ethereum can still do very well here because Ethereum isn't at an all-time high. So it really has some room to run. And right now, we could really reach this 834 level on this bull move, right, with the amount of hype and strength that we're seeing before we see a pullback. A lot of people are talking about that 800 level, and that's why it's even more likely that we see $834 on this bull move before seeing some type of bigger pullback. We may not break above that, right? So we may see some trading in between this pattern in the next few months. But right now, we should be really heading towards that $834 level. So look towards that in the next few weeks. We're going to head over to XRP next and see what's going on. As you can see on the Ripple chart here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to make this clearer. It's been pretty volatile, getting some pretty big moves to both the upside and downside. Right now, what we're going to be looking at on the daily chart is this white Bollinger Band line right around $57. That does seem like a pretty likely area that we're going to revisit here. And that means that could push up a little bit higher. Is it likely that we see a breakout right now for Ripple, above 70 cents? It seems pretty unlikely to me in the next few days and even if next few weeks. However, in the next maybe month to 6 months out, we will most likely see a move towards $1 plus for Ripple as the whole cryptocurrency market as a whole moves higher. And even now, right, we should be able to push back higher towards that 60 cent level. Also, of course, on the indicators, we're breaking out as well, right? We broke out of this downtrend. We're flipping back up on the MACD, so a lot of bullish indicators for Ripple there as well. Let's go ahead and head over to our Litecoin chart and see what's going on. As always, make sure to check out my technical analysis master course if you want to learn technical analysis. Link to that in the description of this video. And heading over to Litecoin next. So Litecoin has been pretty stable, actually one of the most stable cryptocurrencies in the last couple of weeks, which isn't a bad thing. Currently at $91, very impressive, right? Of course, seems very likely that Litecoin is going to get that breakout above $100 here in the next few weeks. And really, this one could start to pick up some momentum here, start to move towards $150. So I actually like the price action here. It's not too overbought or anything. So nice little opportunity here for Litecoin in my personal opinion. Keep in mind, that's not financial advice, just my own opinion. Let's head over to Chainlink next. This is also an interesting one. It also has been pretty steady alongside Litecoin. So I'm going to say pretty similar idea here. As long as we see it continue to uptrend, right? So keep in mind, keep looking at this uptrend that we're seeing right here. You can go ahead and draw this out on the chart. As long as we're seeing this uptrend hold, no real reason for concern, right? Probably going to be very similar, somewhat steady with a little bit of hype in their move, just like Litecoin. Start to push back above 15 cents, really start heading back towards $20. And sorry, that was $15, not 15 cents, of course, for Chainlink. Now, let's go ahead and head over to Cardano here for the last cryptocurrency of the day. And we're going to be taking a look at how it's looking. So Cardano, once again, has been pretty steady here alongside Litecoin and Chainlink, currently at 16 cents. Expect this one to be able to get a breakout above 20 cents here. It's still very high up on its uptrend, but not overbought or anything. So it's actually pretty steady, and we've got a lot of room here. This one could be a big mover. Of course, initially we want to see that move towards 20 cents plus, and after that, it's really going to be on our way to 40 cents. So a lot of room here for Cardano. Like it a lot. With that being said, this is the end of this video. Make sure to check out my technical analysis master course, link in the description. Less than $20. Great reviews, as you can see here. And make sure to follow me on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe and have a great day. I'll see you soon with another update in the future. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.